Good morning, everyone. My name is Tyler Barnett, and this is my presentation on domestic violence and its impact on society. Before we begin, let's go over what we will be discussing in this presentation. First, we will discuss what is domestic violence statistics, the impact of domestic violence, and real-world examples of domestic violence. According to the United Nations, domestic violence, otherwise known as intimate partner violence, can be defined as a pattern of behavior in any relationship that is used to gain or maintain power and control over an intimate partner. Abuse is physical, sexual, emotional, economic, or psychological actions or threats of actions that influence another person. Signs of domestic violence include, but are not limited to, embarrassing or making fun of you in front of your friends or family, putting down your accomplishments, making you feel like you are unable to make decisions, using intimidations or threats to gain compliance, telling you that you are nothing without them, treating you roughly, i.e., grabbing, pushing, pinching, shoving, or hitting you. Domestic abuse statistics include approximately 1 in 6 women and 1 in 14 men have experienced contact sexual violence by an intimate partner in their lifetime. And according to a study done in 2017, approximately 10% of men will experience partner abuse, whereas up to 30% of women will experience partner abuse. In layman's terms, women are 2 times more likely to experience sexual or physical abuse in their lifetime. Domestic abuse and its impact on society. As we all know, domestic abuse is harrowing and its effects can cause psychological, physical, and emotional damage on people and anyone who it's affected. More specifically, it can have effects on the victim, effects on the family, effects on the community, and effects on children. For the victim, effects can be such things as death, illness, disability, and injury, emotional and physical trauma, homelessness, use of alcohol or drugs to cope/numb emotional or physical pain. In terms of the family, effects can be fear, frequent moving to avoid abuse, regular familial conflict, and child protection and/or police involvement. Effects on the community can include children growing up without positive role models and views on relationships, an increased incarceration rate, increased drug and alcohol use, and most importantly, domestic and family violence is estimated to cost the NSW economy more than $55 billion each year. Finally, the effects on the children can include self-esteem issues, depression and/or anxiety, lashing out at friends and family, self-harm, and blaming themselves for the violence. Lastly, we will discuss a real-world example in the view of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. According to Insider.com, Depp and Heard first met in 2009 on the set of The Rum Diary, which they starred in together. They married in 2015 in a private ceremony, but Heard later filed for divorce a year later, accusing Depp of abuse. In a video that was released in 2020 during their ongoing court case, the video talked in detail with Depp and Heard explaining their marriage and how filled to the brim with abuse it was. More specifically, Heard spoke about how she abused Depp in detail with things such as hitting him, punching him, berating him, emotionally abusing him, beating him, and other factors. While Depp was upfront and took responsibility for his actions in the failed marriage, Heard continued to deflect and would not take proper accountability for her actions. After the video released, Depp faced many social and economic consequences, such as being removed from many motion pictures, such as the third movie of the Fantastic Beast franchise, and is no longer able to continue with certain projects. Heard, on the other hand, has faced no such social or economic consequences, and in fact, she has gained support and many new business ventures in, in light of her recent actions in the video. This further explains the double standard when it comes to men and women and domestic abuse. In conclusion, domestic abuse is growing in its cases, and it is important that we as a society know exactly what it is, what signs to look for, the impact domestic abuse has, and examples to better identify it in the real world. With 1 in 6 women and 1 in 14 men having or will experience abuse in their lifetime, it is important that we as a society put an end to this harrowing abuse once and for all. Thank you. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
I'm glad you liked the
Can
presentation.
can we abuse Amber Heard like she abused Johnny Depp?
I mean, I didn't even also mention this, but I think her ex also said that she had a history of violence.
Domestic violence.
Yeah,
Went to jail for.
yeah, and that's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, glad you enjoyed the presentation, and it was fun,